Yo, top of the morning to you, wealth champions. Y'all know what it is, man. It's time for the St. Louis Hustle Podcast with your boy Cortez Hustle and your girl Michelle Aaye. And
What's
boy,
up,
do
y'all?
we have a good show planned for you today. We're gonna get into some relationship stuff, man. Cracked foundations, ladies and gentlemen. Can two broken people
Whoa.
find love and make it last? That's what we're talking about today. Of course, we got some great gone viral clips from our man Corwin Claiborne. Gonna have you cracking up out of your seat. So you guys got to keep it locked right here after we roll this intro.
Growing up in St. Louis has never been easy, and most say if you want to succeed here, that you must leave and put down roots somewhere else because of the strong crabs in a barrel mentality here.
I don't know if I'm just an optimistic person, but to see people like Chuck Berry and Nelly make it in the music industry, or the Roberts brothers and Dave Stewart in business, or William Lacey Clay Jr. in politics, can we blame the city, or is it that people just aren't hungry enough?
We're talking to all of the movers and shakers in this town, from entertainers to politicians, social activists and organizers, and of course, entrepreneurs.
Is there a curse on this city that holds people back? Is there an unseen hand that decides who makes it and who doesn't? You're about to find out.
Welcome to St. Louis Hustle.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the St. Louis Hustle Podcast. I'm your host, Cortez Hustle. That is my girl, Michelle Aaye. And we are coming live and direct from the Monetize My Life studios here in St. Louis, Missouri. Listen, if you have a gift, talent, or special ability that you want to monetize, then you need to go over to monetizemylifenow.com. Get a free copy of the Financial Health Mentors book entitled Monetize My Life, 4 incredibly simple ways to turn your gifts, talents, and passions into income. If you go grab that book, it will change your life. Michelle, what's up, sis? How you doing?
I do. What's going on? First of all, I'm trying to get my life together right quick. I'm trying to change my life right now, and I'm gonna get the book, but I'm trying to immediately change my life by getting stuff together. But I got a question. What's you over there sounding real subdued? Now, I normally you super hype. You sounding like you ain't had your coffee this morning. I need to know what's going on. I got like 2 or 3 things. I'm trying to get myself together. This will happen when you don't be properly prepared and you run your mouth at the beginning of the thing and you don't be focused. I know what's going on with me. And those that do me know Michelle is not a good multitasker. That's my thing. What's wrong with you? You over there saying
It's
this was a podcast. You're listening to the smooth sounds.
it's the microphone, Michelle. It's the microphone.
What's going on, man?
It's the microphone. The microphone makes you put your
Oh,
quiet storm voice on when you got the microphone. So
see,
that's
that's what happened. Now the story comes out. See, that's what happened. That's why black people can't make a come up. That's why black people can't make a come up. See, now we know. Now we know. This is why black people can't have none.
yeah. I got the microphones. I got the headphones, and I'm hearing myself through the headphones, and I'm over here seducing myself, Michelle. That's what's happening.
Somebody call Lee. Where's Lee? I don't like where this going. I feel like I need to call an 800 number. I don't like this.
Yeah.
I don't feel weird.
Because when I hear myself through the headphones, then I can't be loud and hype because I'm screaming at myself. So
So it puts you in a Doc Winter kind of mood.
yes, there you go. There you go.
You feel like you need to dim the lights.
Yes. This is no longer a morning show. This is the midnight hour, and we are St. Louis Hustle Podcast, and we just want you to listen to the smooth sounds of.
Man, you did just turn the lights on low. Whoa, oh my, I don't know what to make of this whole thing. I need to leave? What?
Yes.
You know, we doing a podcast like Go ahead, Michelle Aaye. Sexy people of St. Louis. This is not a sexy STL hustle podcast. Sexy host
Yes,
Cortez.
it is Tizzy, live and direct, coming to you.
Sexy hustle.
Yes, yes, yes. Uh, anywho, what's up with the coronavirus watch? Uh,
I'm sorry,
you go
I'm back.
outside yesterday, Missouri is back open outside. You're now free to travel about Missouri unless you
No,
live in St. Louis City or St. Louis County, right? Everything is open but the city.
move throughout the cabin. Don't do it. Don't trust it, people. Let me tell you something. The numbers. Now, I got some numbers on here, but I was watching the newscast, as my daddy say, the news.
Mhm.
And the numbers, they say we're right about, St. Louis is right about 75, right about 7,500. Illinois, y'all know y'all are all the way up. So Illinois is almost like 65. Illinois is almost about 60,000. And so they were saying, since they're loosening the bans and everything, that we're seeing spikes. We're starting to spike again. So we just got to be careful. Here it is. I'm not going to say I don't know what the answer is, right? Well, I guess I will say that. But we just have to be diligent, and we cannot really loosen our grasp because man has said that we can go out, right? They're loosening, and they're giving us more room to kind of play around and say, okay, you can go out and do more things and all of that. We still got to put the masks on, people. Put your gloves on. We're starting to see these spikes. I don't think this is a time to kind of play with this. And this is coming from your neighborhood extrovert. You know what I'm saying? This is coming from me. This is the one that's been wanting to get out there and, two-step and get out there. I've been, sitting in the window looking out, and I've been, I'll go for them drives. I've been trying not to really be out there. And I've been, going little places, but I've been having my mask with me and my gloves. I keep them in the car. But, we can't really get crazy with it.
Gotcha. For those of you who are listening and checking us out on live, Facebook Live or the YouTube channel, let us know, man, are you going back outside immediately when it's official that you can? I want to know where people are with this, because I did not stop going outside because of me personally. I stopped because of my family, and I think I think I'm Wolverine. I told y'all this before, so I don't think coronavirus can live in me. But that don't mean it can't get on me and I can transfer it to somebody else. So that's the thing that's got me on chill mode. But let us know in the comments if you are the type of person that is you ready for this thing to be over and you going back outside immediately, or are you going to proceed with caution, as Michelle says?
You should. You absolutely really should. There's nothing, just really, really quickly. Last night I was just going through videos and such last night, and I came across TD Jakes. And those of you that know me, y'all should know me. If you don't know me, get to know me. Hey. I love TD Jakes. He's like I don't know him, but like I wish I knew him. Like I met him once in person a long, long time ago. And I feel like he's should be like my granddad or my uncle or my daddy. Like my other deity. But he just was doing this public appeal on online Sunday, where he was just pleading with people not to be out here reckless. And he felt this pull on his heart to really warn people, just to be like, man, it's pulling on my heart for people not to take it lightly. That we shouldn't be out here all willy-nilly, hey, let's kick it over, to not be just out here. And there are, certain men, I think, in public figure, in the public arena, that I really respect. He is one of them. what you
Yeah.
want about? I don't really care. He don't care either. But he's one of the ones that I truly, truly respect. And I took that, like I respect that dude, and so I was just like, hey,
Yeah.
like D said so. So man, that kind of hit me a little
Yeah,
bit.
because you have to ask yourself, and one of my mentors was on a live last night and just sharing some of our financial information, and he said medically, what has changed from last week to this week where we can go outside, right? Has
Right.
something documented by way of cases have dropped significantly by 50%, all since it's gotten a little warmer outside. What has changed other than people's pockets have been stretched thin and they like, hey, if we don't open this economy back up, in small businesses and get some tax revenue flowing throughout the economy, then so what has really changed that made them say? Because if nothing has really changed, why did we shut down in the first place? If nothing has changed, if the threat is still the same, then
Right.
why did we even shut down? If the threat is still the same, and yet we're gonna go send everybody back outside and as normal. So let us know in the comments. Are you going back outside? Let us know where you're from, where you're tuning in from. Has your state or your city? I
Yeah.
think one of the interesting things that we are starting to see is we're starting to see local politicians fight with state politicians and federal politicians, right? Because I know in Atlanta, the governor said, "Yeah, I can go outside and play," but Mayor Keisha like, "Don't listen to your
Right.
daddy. Yeah,
Right.
don't take y'all butt outside." So you're seeing governors and mayors kind of have this little spat, and like here in Missouri, the governor said everybody else in the state can go outside, but if you live in St. Louis City or St. Louis County, and I wonder, I don't know if it's the same in Kansas City as well, because that's also a big, highly densely populated city. They're probably not able to move about as much in Kansas City because I'm thinking the city and the dense population is why we can't move about just yet. Do you know?
No, you know what? I heard that, and I just heard that this morning that the mayor, the governors, I think it's either the mayors or the governors are supposed to get in cahoots.
Hmm.
Um, uh, Kansas City and St. Louis City, either both the mayors or governors are supposed to get in cahoots because
Hmm.
the cities are they're the two largest cities
Right.
in the state, like Kansas City and St. Louis.
Hmm.
Um, so they're supposed to get in cahoots to compare and see how they want to release similarly.
Gotcha.
So they want to kind of do that on the same accord. They said that a lot of the within the state of Missouri that they're supposed to do this 10-10-10 rule, right?
Hmm.
10% of the population, 10 people in the building, et cetera, et cetera. But St. Louis City, St. Louis County, they're going to kind of line up with St. Louis with Kansas City,
Gotcha.
and they're
Okay.
kind of work together.
Okay.
Uh,
That should be interesting to see and to note.
yeah.
Um, what about your president on social media? Let's say that until we come back on the other side of the break. Michelle has always got something to say about my president. I'm still waiting on a stimulus check, so he's my president. He might not be Michelle president anymore. I'm still waiting to see what he's going to do for my business. So yes, Mr. President, Donald Trump, President Trump, you are my president. Uh, so when we come back on the other side.
That joker, I got what I needed from him, and I'm gone. Sorry.
All
I threw
right.
you on the nightstand. I was like, see you, boo, thanks.
On the other side of this break, we're going to hear Michelle's thoughts on Yo President, but then we're going to get into this heavy conversation about relationships, man. So keep it locked right here.
Yes.
St. Louis Social Podcast is brought to you by Reggie the Lion. Go to reggiethelion.com to grab yourself a copy of the coloring book and keep up with all the latest developments of the dog and everything that Reggie the Lion is planning to bring to our children. Also, check out officehuddleprint.com. All of the graphic designs that you've seen for the St. Louis Hustle Podcast are courtesy of Office Huddle Print Shop. our good friends helped us with logos, flyers, thumbnails, even our merchandise, courtesy of officehuddleprint.com. St. Louis Credit Repair Institute, get your credit in the right order. STLcreditfix.com. They average 50 to 150 point increases for over 100,000 customers so far, and you could be next. STLcreditfix.com. The St. Louis Hustle Podcast is a copyrighted production of iHustle Media Group. Any unauthorized use of the content of this show is strictly prohibited. iHustle Media Group, a better way to market.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the St. Louis Hustle Podcast. And I'm Cortez Hustle. She is never paying attention, Michelle Aaye. But nevertheless, we are coming live and direct from the freefunnelmachine.com studios here in St. Louis, Missouri. Ladies and gentlemen, if you are not using sales funnels in your business, you are working too hard. So go to freefunnelmachine.com and learn more about the sales funnels and processes that you can implement in your business to help add some automation and make it easy for you to move your products and services and connect with your customers. So before we went to break, we're definitely got to get into this conversation about these relationships, and can two broke people, financially broke people, make a lasting relationship last? Can two broken people, whether it's spiritually, whether it's emotionally, whether it's psychologically broken, can they make a lasting relationship and loving relationship last? But what were you about to say about my president? Because I'm going to tell him when I talk to him.
Oh, you're gonna get your big brother on me.
Yes.
You know what? It just baffles me how he is able to run a country and he just be doing the stuff he do. I ain't even gonna stay on his head too long because he's just so amazing. He's
amazing. My president is amazing.
Stupid. He crazy. I think he's crazy. He don't be taking his medicine like he's supposed to. I think that's his problem. That's what's kind of going on, right? So he cracks me up, right? So he be tweeting. He need to stay offline. I'm sure he got other presidential things to do. Why he on Twitter so much? Why is it he's online too much? I think that's his problem. Man, he got the country around.
I think he's really revealing what really goes on. See, President Obama had all the time. I think he's revealing that, hey, presidents really don't do anything, but the other presidents stayed out of Dodge, so they pretended they were doing something. This joker on Twitter too much, so he's got too much free time on his hands. Ain't you supposed to be reading some briefs? Ain't you supposed to be in some meetings? Ain't you?
Something. I'm sure he got something to do. He online tweeting. He was tweeting about Stephen Colbert, which I love Stephen Colbert.
Mm-hmm.
I just didn't know I love him, but I love him. He's a late night talk show host. I love him, and he's hilarious. He cracks the funniest Trump jokes. Oh my goodness! But he watched it. So Trump watched this show where he was being talked about, and so he was just going off and tweet about Stephen Colbert, talking about him. And he goes, I was watching this guy. This is stupid and blah blah blah. And boy, he's just a dumb guy. And where's Johnny Carson at? He's like, I got some bad news for you. I hate to be the one to break this to you about Johnny Carson, but you might sit down for this. Where's Johnny Carson, dude? But that's your president, right? You're gonna hand over Johnny Carson, and this the dude. So let's just recount in the last 2 weeks. He wanted us to drink bleach, and he looked at Johnny Carson. And we was worried. What was that man that wanted everybody to drink Kool-Aid back in the day?
Was it Koresh? David Koresh?
Jim Jones.
It's Jim Jones. I think Koresh had some Kool-Aid for people too.
Okay.
Yeah.
What that do? Man, so we thought about all the other psychopaths back in the day, and we let this one run the country. But I digress, Chad. As your president, I'm gonna just let y'all have it. I'm just saying,
Correct. So,
relationship, we got a broke president. Ooh, broke.
Our question for you guys who are watching us live on Facebook and YouTube: can two financially broke people be allowed to date and grow together and make some stuff happen? What say ye, Facebook? Can two financially broke people make find love in a lasting relationship? I want to know, man. What say ye? I mean, we know that it happens all the time. I mean, heck, my wife and I are still broke, but we are 20 years married, 24 years together, making it work. But what we're trying to ascertain though is, should we had positioned ourselves better financially for the sake of the children that just kept popping out after we got together? Should we had taken that part seriously? So can two broke people, or should two broke people be allowed to date? What say ye, Michelle?
Well, um,
And should
I'm
they be allowed to procreate? Maybe that's the bigger question.
uh, I'm gonna start here, right? I'm gonna throw my answer out, and I know we got people chiming in online.
Yeah,
I'm gonna just say this: if it's at the dating stage, so people have to meet and
yeah.
get together first before they get into that thing. I'm
Hmm.
gonna just say this from the standpoint of when they meet, that careful evaluation should be given. You know what I'm saying? When you meet,
Hmm.
should should people have the basics in order?
Yeah.
I kind of, yeah, you know. So maybe not necessarily from the standpoint of brokenness, you know what I'm saying, financially, right? But
Hmm.
should both have some things on the table? So should the man have, a job, a place to stay in a car? So maybe the basics. Yeah.
Yeah.
Should the woman have those basics?
Hmm.
I say yeah. Some of those things should be examined in the beginning. I say yeah when they come together. Hey, how you doing? How you doing? I like you. You like me. I say yes. And then
Hmm.
as things evolve, then yeah. Should a man be approaching a woman and you ain't got no job, you ain't got no car, you ain't got nothing? Should you be approaching a woman trying to get a phone number and trying to date someone and be romantic and be involved and fall in love?
Hmm.
Hell no. No.
Boy, if you don't
I
go sit your A double dollar sign down somewhere,
right.
get you
No. No
get you
age
some
or no
business,
time. There's no times there.
right?
None.
And,
So,
and
but
get you some business, literally, right?
right, literally none. But you know what? Online, though, we got a couple people online. Okay, so Melissa, Lisa. I'm gonna call all your names. I'm just calling you Lisa. Lisa's answer to the question. She says, "Absolutely." I read it. Absolutely. Okay, Lisa. You say absolutely. Get your fingers working. I'm sorry. I was gonna say explain it. Okay.
Yes.
Read
Elaborate,
better than
please.
Cortez because these glasses is for show. They ain't for reading. So I don't know. You might want to read these answers because I'm over here squinting.
Let me see. I'm not on the show page. I'm on another
Okay,
page.
okay. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and put that on down. And okay, it says we can have basic things and still be broke. So that's why I say yes. Okay, okay,
Okay.
all right.
Gotcha. I
You
see
know,
where she's going with it.
go ahead. I'm sorry. What is?
Yeah, I see where she's going with it. And honestly, I think where we are, and
Mhm.
being the father of five sons, I'm trying to ensure that my sons do have those things in order for a couple reasons. In our community, over the last 40, 50 years, it has always been the man moves in with the woman, right? In a large percentage of the cases, versus a man going out and getting his own place and then paying all his own bills, and then they should decide, okay, whose place, if we're going to make this thing permanent, how we're going to get together, and that kind of thing. But I think what the baby boy syndrome has done, and that is You go right from living under your mama's roof to living under some woman's roof and never having established how to be on your own 2 feet. I think that is causing a lot of problems in our community. It's causing a lot of calamity. It's causing a lot of collateral damage by way of the children that are being born into these relationships. So I think, yeah, we definitely have to be careful. So Becky says, are we talking about? So first, Becky, we're talking about broke people. We're going to talk about broken people here in a second. But yes, we are talking about broke people right now. If you are not in a certain place financially, should you be more focused on that than trying to build a stable, lasting relationship? Now, am I saying that you don't date? Yeah, if somebody wants to date your broke butt, then yeah, date, hang out. But I don't think there should be the we finna build a marriage and neither one of us got our stuff together, right?
Right. Now also we have Dantes Gerald says both can be broke. Both better be in a stage where they're transitioning a business. A prolonged courting phase would be more appropriate. That
Yeah.
is a possibility. I mean, that's a possibility. Both. I like the key word there is both. And the other key word transitioning. But I like the key word both is
Yeah.
a little bit different.
Yes.
I think any situation where you have one that is doing and the other one isn't, that is always going to put a strain on the other person. And here's the trick though, right? Where and I'm probably going to get jumped somewhere in my life for saying this, right? But I'm a strong proponent for this, where yes, I think it is a primary duty for the man to carry the weight. Y'all better carry the weight, okay?
Yeah.
But the female ladies, we can't just sit back and kick our heels up and be like, hey, now we got some weight to carry too,
Right.
because we have to be able to support our own. We have to be able to, to have the backbone of the man. We got to be able to be a helpmate at some point. You know what I'm saying? Even if the man does come in and shoulder it all, we have to be able to be the supporting role for him at some point. And I think that we have to be able to bring something to the table other than a hot meal.
Right.
I
Yeah.
see.
Becky, right, other than a hot meal. Becky says, I don't think there is a financial status that equals love. And just so we're clear, I'm not saying that if we both started out and we had our stuff together and one of us stumbled and failed after we got into this love relationship and we're solid, I'm saying when should you have a certain level of financial stability even before you start looking to seriously connect with someone and talk about being a life partner. I think that is where I am with it. And certainly, I think we can agree that there has been a lot of collateral damage by way of children born into relationships where there's not a lot going on financially, and that leads to a lot of other negative stuff, right? That sometimes no finances leads to you getting shoved when you ask me if I got a job yet, right? And now there's domestic violence coming in because of, this whole situation. And it's not like this evolved after the fact. I'm not talking about after you've been married 2-3 years and you fall on hard times. I'm talking about this jigger ain't have nothing when y'all started this whole thing. And y'all progressed together down this road, and now it's just spiraling out of control. So hold that comment until we come back on the other side of this break, because we're going to get into some broken people. What should that look like? And then we've got some gone viral clips to lighten the mood a little bit. So let's go to break real quick. When we come back, we're going to get more comments from you on this subject. Glad you guys are engaging. This is a good topic to talk about. So when we come back, we're going to continue this discussion, but we're going to take it a little deeper and talk about broken people spiritually, psychologically, emotionally. What happens when they get together and they start procreating? So keep it locked right here.
I have done 2 prior Longevity Better Health Now challenges. I decided this time around I needed an extra push. A good thing to remember is 32 pounds is the weight of my 3.5-year-old son, and I am not carrying around a 3.5-year-old basically.
I'm a mother of 4. I just want to see how healthy I can get so that I can be around for a while. It's pretty amazing whenever you're excited to get on the scales every morning and see what the numbers are instead of dreading it.
When I went to convention last year, the day of the 5K, this lady, Merle, came across the finish line. She was visually impaired. She was blind. From this day forth, I said, I'm changing my lifestyle, and I'm just going to be a whole new me.
I was out of control. I really let myself go. And I thought, okay, who loses 12 pounds in a week? I'm like, this is such a joke. But it happened, and it happened again and again and again. Anybody can do this. If I can do it, you can do it.
Leading up to today has been a whirlwind, but I feel amazing. Everybody makes you feel really awesome when you come here too, so it just kind of like heightens your excitement about everything.
I feel so much better. If I could help just one person be able to do that for their life, then it'd be worth it all.
I feel amazing. I can't believe how far I've came from last year to this year.
I have kept my weight off within 2 to 5 pounds, which is a complete miracle. Let's go!
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the St. Louis Hustle Podcast. I'm your host, Cortez Hustle. She is Michelle Aaye. I keep trying to tell Michelle she likes to watch the monitors, and the monitor is on like a 20-second delay. So what she think is live is not live. I'm ready, and the commercial is halfway over. She thinks she got 30 more seconds. No, you don't. We ready. So coming back. And wait, go to monetizemylifenow.com and get your free book. Teach you how to turn your skills into income. Monetizemylifenow.com. You cover shipping and you get the book for free. But yeah, we have some great comments and some great engagement on can 2 broke people get together. But we also want to talk about broken people as well. And you know, I was broken and broke when my wife decided to take on this project, right? Because that's what it was, Michelle. I'm grown enough to admit that I was a project at 22 years old, and my wife said, "Hey, young man," she had a couple criteria. She said, "Is he working? Does he love the Lord? I can work with that." And she's been working with it ever since.
Oh wow! Oh, that is you was her DIY.
Yes, yeah. She's like, I'm gonna put me a man together, like Mr. Potato Head. Yeah, let's. So okay. I'm not saying that, you know, when love happens and you know, 2 broken people get together, I'm not saying that magic can't happen. I'm not saying that you can't grow and evolve and become something great. I from where we started to where we are now, and even more importantly, where we are headed, man, this is going to be an amazing story. You guys are going to see it on the big screen at some point. But we have to be honest enough to also say that when I look at my children, right, 5 sons.
Yeah, wow.
How did our brokenness and brokenness affect their lives, and what kind of trauma are they going to be having to deal with and overcome? and hopefully they can get 80-90% of it resolved before they settle down to tie some knots and start bringing children into the world. Because I think that is what we all want. We want evolution to happen to where, yes, when mom and I got together, we were broke and broken, right? There are some things that we had to go through, and some might argue that, hell, we wouldn't have come out of some of the things we had to go through had it not been for each other. So I get all of that. But out of that brokenness and that journey of us going through, we had 5 kids. And we don't know what the effects of that is going to be on those children. So I don't see any more comments. Let's see. There are lots of rich, unhappy, married people. Yeah, and that's not about, we're not trying to say that money is the equalizer. I'm just saying at the beginning, should there be some foundational pieces there to build up on so that we don't start having children when we're broken, bringing them into negative situations and so on and so forth.
It just makes, I feel, from both ends of this perspective. Well, from the other side, let me start here. From the other side of the perspective, right? Like I was a single parent, and so that perspective with my kids, from the financial aspect, the brokenness, financially, bringing up 2 kids, broke, single, bringing them up in that, you know, they had to kind of weather that, and they came up in it. They survived it, obviously, and now they're grown and they're out on their own. And I think, you know, we look back on it, and you know, this is something that we say as Black people, and I'm sure other cultures do it too. But I know Black people, we do this a lot. It kind of helps us sleep at night. But we probably do it the most, where we look back and say, especially during pandemic times, we can say, okay, being broke taught us how to survive during these times, right?
Yeah.
That's a being broke. When everybody was using up all the toilet paper, we knew how to go a quick trip and like, let me get a stack of them napkins in them hotel. We knew how to survive during these economic hard times, you know. But the effect of this, you know, it conditioned my kids. You know, there were some things that, you know, they carry to this day because of things that was, you know, they had to go through when they were younger, and some things were the result of me not having for them. You know, me choosing to be with somebody they didn't have. You know what I'm saying? Because they didn't have. You know what I'm saying? And as a result of me getting with someone they didn't have, it didn't work out, and we wound up splitting.
Yeah.
You know, so they would buy a product. They dealt with that. They had to deal with the result of my choice. You know, and I think that's what one of the end results of this discussion is. When, as parents, when 2 people come together, that's what they don't think about. We don't think about the end. We think about the immediate, which is 2 broke people coming together. But we don't allow our mind to play out down the road, which is we have kids. Where these kids have to go through these tough times, yada yada yada. We don't think about down the road what that's going to do to them.
Yeah.
You know, their mental, their psyche, you know, all that.
It is funny too, because my wife teases me all the time. Because when we got together, I was like, man, I want a whole gang of kids, right? And not thinking about the financial cost of raising a child, and certainly not thinking about the emotional cost and investment required to raise a child. I just know I didn't have a father. I figured I could be a great dad, so I wanted to be a dad to a lot of young whippersnappers, right? And she talks about how this smile that I have on my face, this is the smile that I had when child number 1 was born. When child number 3 was born, The smiles that faded a little bit. It was was
Just
not the
like
same happy-go-lucky dude uh, when
started to
that
fade.
happened. And to your point, yes, like surviving as broke people, right? Surviving as broken people. Yes, we grew up without hot water, and I learned how to be industrious and use a hot plate to boil water to take care of a hot bath and that kind of stuff. But should I have had to
Yep,
even had that experience,
yep,
right? And then what did that experience lead me to believe about myself, about
yep,
my mom, about my dad,
yep,
about my brothers and sisters? How did that
yep.
shape my reality, right? As a kid growing up that way. And then here's the thing. When you have to grow up that way, you tend to be in communities where everybody grows up that way, so it seems normal,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And no, that ain't normal, right?
It's not until and it happened to my children, right? Until
Mhm,
we lived in a predominantly black neighborhood, and then we moved out. My kids went through some things, some bullying, and then so we did like sometimes we have to do. We borrowed an address, and
right.
we went to another district, and it was predominantly white, and so my daughter got with friends that were of another ethnicity, and baby, I let her hang out one time in middle school, high school, at a friend's house, and she came home and hit me with the so and so mama made snacks after school. I was like, oh, now I'm being compared to so and so mama. I don't quit bringing that, and it's the honest God's truth. I said, you come home and tell me one more time about Sarah's mama, and it's gonna be a problem. It's gonna be a problem. Don't come on, tell me about Sarah's mama made sandwiches for them after school. I need you going to Sarah's mama. That's what you need to go do.
You
I'm not
better
making
go over there and warm that pot, put that pot of water on and get you some noodles cracking up in here and some 19-cent top ramen. That's what we do after school around here.
you
But
hear me?
but that's the thing though. Was she
Exactly.
wrong for noticing the difference between how she was being raised compared to how other people were being raised? And I know race comes into play, right?
It
Other
is.
cultures and ethnicities, but if she had been over at a black single mom's house who just were a little bit more together than you were at the time, and that black single mom was off work at 2:30, so she at home at 3 making snacks for their kids when they come home from school, would that have been a different comparison, right? Would you have felt different about that? Because here's a single mom, I'm a single mom. She's just a little higher up the socioeconomic ladder a little bit. Maybe that would be more inspirational than more of an insult. I don't know. I'm just guessing.
Yeah. No, I don't even think so. I don't even think it would have been. I don't even think it would have been an insult. I think it was because Sarah was a two-parent household. Sarah, they had a
Mhm.
dog. I
Yeah.
don't know dogs. I don't even like dogs now. But I mean, they had the sprinkler out front. They had, all these things, and it was just conditioning.
Mhm.
Where again, my daughter was an adolescent at the time, and no matter what it was, that sometimes what they do at that age, they look over the gate and see what they see something that someone has that they don't have.
Yeah.
And no matter what they have, they're always going to see what someone else has that they don't, and kind of idolize that,
Yeah.
And
Gotcha.
she saw a two-parent home. She saw sandwiches. She saw what she saw on television.
Yeah. And
She
that doesn't necessarily mean that that family didn't have some brokenness going on either. It's just it was different, right? I got a couple comments over here. Charlotte says we have gotten so far away from spiritual covenant relationship, then we want magic to happen, and I believe I believe she is 100% right there. Gail says it causes limited beliefs when you have financial struggles like that, and nothing wrong with having to learn how to survive and the character that comes from that, because I am who I am today because of it. But still, the question remains: who would I have been if I came through a different set of circumstances, right? And we'll never know if that version of Cortez would be better or worse or even more broken and all that kind of stuff. But I just want us to be conscious that when we do come together in these relationships, I'll be completely honest, and I hope my wife doesn't kill me. But at 22,
Wait, I'm gonna need a host next week. I don't know how to run none of your fancy stuff, and I ain't got no fancy headphones or no microphone.
at 22, when I said, okay, I'm sick and tired of running the streets. I want a family. I want kids. And one of the things that I really wanted is to be able to have safe, unprotected sex, right? That's why that's why all the kids popped out so fast, right? And I'm just frank, and a lot of guys, when we finally get to settle down with a woman, that is the thing. I don't have to worry about protection. We're in a committed relationship. It's monogamous, and I get to have unprotected sex. And you know what happens? You get 3 kids in 5 years. For 5 straight years, Michelle, I was changing diapers. And you know how each kid got out of the diapers? Well, we were so broke that we couldn't afford the size diaper that each kid need, because during that 5 years, at least 2 of them were in diapers at the same time. We got to size 3 diaper, right? The size 3 diaper was small enough for the little kid, but it was also just big enough for the older kid. And guess what? When it started hugging the older kid tight, he learned how to go to the pot.
You had to.
Yeah, he had to, because we wasn't buying a size 1, a size 3, and a size 5 diaper. No, it ain't happening, because we were broke, right? So we had to make do. But what if that stunted the growth of my little man's junk, right? Because I was broke. Now he got to go walking around dealing with some issues with his size. So now he's got to carry a big stick because he don't carry a big stick, right? Because I had a little bitty diaper on his. I don't know. I'm just saying there's a lot of ramifications that come out of broke. There's a lot of ramifications come out of brokenness and brokenness that we don't think about. So I'm just saying. I'm just saying. But yes.
That out of the diaper discussion.
Yeah, I'm just saying. See, and that's why we got to have these kinds of conversations where men and women can talk, because y'all don't know what the heck we be thinking. We don't know what the heck y'all be thinking. But yes, I'm thinking back that, man, my 2, 3, he was 3 at the time, so they're kind of like 18 months apart. So one of them was 3,
Jesus.
One of them was 1.5, and the other one was just coming on the scene. So the 3-year-old has a size 3 diaper on, and that could have affected his childhood in a strange way. So he had to hurry up and get out of that diaper, and but on the other side, though, now that I think about it, Michelle, the newborn has on a size 3. So he had a lot of room. So maybe it helped him. I don't know, Michelle. I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
The microphone in your head said, that is it, sir. But you know what, though? I'm going to say this. The next time that I'm going to just ask a brother, hey, don't be embarrassed.
Yeah, you might want to find out.
It's too long. Did your people keep you in diapers?
When you see and you meet the family and you recognize that they're stair-stepper children, right? When you recognize that they're stair-stepper children, now you have an explanation to why his package may be the way that it is.
That's a qualifying question.
Yes.
Where are you in the family chain? You have. Where are you? Oh, there was you're right. You're one of. Oh, you're right. Oh, you're 18 months apart. Yeah,
Yes.
hard pass. Okay, yeah. No, you're not the one for me. No, it's not. It's not. No, it's not. No, it's not me. It's you. Oh, no.
Yeah, yeah, it's definitely you, and I know why. So
No.
I'm gonna keep it moving.
To the left, to the left. Okay. Thanks so much. You just gave me all kind of game. I appreciate it.
Yes,
Again, we're still on the plan. Get Shell married by 2021.
that's
Thanks.
it. That's it. And now she's got some more qualifying questions. That so when she starts trying to figure out how old your older brother is and your younger sister and who's next to you in relationship to your siblings, that's what she's trying to get at. She's trying to get at your size without having to ask about your size. Is what she's trying to do. Yes. Yeah. See, I done helped y'all ladies out. I done showed y'all how to figure it out. This is how you figure it out.
It's the headphones. Gone viral. You gotta get to going viral. That's what we got.
Yes. So we're gonna skip our last commercial break. We're gonna hit these going viral clips because my man Kerwin Claiborne is hilarious. So what I'm gonna do, Michelle, is I'm gonna run them back to back, and then we'll come back and talk and wrap up the show. So this is Gone Viral, people, where we show you some funny clips that we find. Most of them, I'm not gonna lie, come from Kerwin Claiborne. He's just hilarious. Hopefully, if you guys know Kerwin Claiborne, tag him and maybe we can get him on the show. But he's got some great voiceovers. So let's just go ahead and cut to some going viral right now because I done said some stuff that might be going viral, Michelle. So let's get out of here.
Hey, bro, I thought they said we could come. I thought they said we could come out, bro. I didn't know. I'm sorry. That was. I'm finna go. Please do not hit me again. Please, I got. I'm finna go. I got it. I'm going back to the house. I thought y'all was leaving. I'm finna go. These white folk crazy. And shit. Just you gonna y'all see the part y'all supposed to sing looking at me. Y'all hear me over here coughing. Do y'all part, don't worry about me, doggone it. You gonna miss my gonna miss my Look, I'm so sick of these kids. Doggone it! The only thing I want to do is watch Steve Harvey. Now these kids is rambling through my drawers, get my wigs, my good wigs. Listen, God, you know my heart, but I'm finna pop up. Lord, give me the strength.
Lord, give me the strength.
I cannot with the man. He said, hold on. I thought we could come out. I thought I said we could come out. When I tell you that video makes me weak every time I see it, because that's what they need to do here in St. Louis. They need to roll up on you with a stick and just start whooping people's ass.
Just start beating people, man. Get your back in that house.
Back in the house. He couldn't even get off his bike. He's like, hold on, wait. Just give me, wait, let me just wait. Oh, my God. Oh, Jesus, goodness.
Michelle, something happened to your mic. Something happened to your mic. I don't know. You went soft on me.
I'm still here. I'm right here.
Yeah, I can hear you a little bit better now, but I don't know what happened. Something happened.
Oh, you can hear me. That's right here.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, it's messing up on us. So Micah says, yes, very true. I've witnessed children going to school with small clothes and shoes because of financial reasons, and it does affect self-esteem and create behavior issues. Yes, it affects a lot of stuff, Micah. That's what I'm saying. As we don't know all the stuff that it affects. Charlotte says, no, that's the beautiful thing of diversity, learning how to choose what fits them. I definitely don't want my children to be followers. Create your own way. Yeah, so that's amazing stuff. So ladies and gentlemen, we appreciate all the engagement. You guys have stepped it up a notch, and we had a great conversation. Any final thoughts on broke people getting together, procreating?
Oh no, you know what? I was just in with. Can you hear me better now? Am I good?
Nope.
No, because my phone is like way over there, and I'm like way over here, and I ain't touching nothing. I don't even know what happened.
Let me do this and let's see if I can fix it on my
I
end.
don't even know if people can still hear me. It ain't me. Anyway, I'm gonna just keep talking. So,
Yeah.
so just shout out to everybody that popped on both on YouTube and on the Facebook live stream. Shout out just to Lisa and Epic who popped on. What's up, Epic and Dantes and just everybody that shared their feedback. Just thanks for the love and just joining in the topic of discussion. That's what we want to engage with everybody and just go through these topics and it only works when we all do it. There it is. And yeah, brokenness, whether it be financial or emotional or spiritual, yes, it's a hurting thing all the way around. And I just think that either way it goes, I agree. Dantes had made a comment. I think that you got to kind of vet your partner. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It's a process. You got to vet your person. That you're engaged at the beginning. Go through that process. Kind of try to make sure at the beginning as much as you can, and then I think when you meet somebody, it's a roll of the dice.
Yeah.
It really is gonna be a roll of the dice. Do the best you can to make sure you're as equally yoked as can be. Because you don't want to tie yourself to nothing crazy. I said it.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think scripture says that love covers a multitude of sins, right? And sometimes the sin is brokenness. And even though my mom raised 6 children as a single mom on welfare, there was a lot of love in that house that covered up a lot of that stuff. And one of the commenters said, there's some rich, unhappy people because maybe they have the financial wherewithal, but they lack the love, right? So there's a lot of, dynamics to this conversation, and there's no right or wrong answer, but I do want people to really consider the possibilities of children being the collateral damage of the choices that we make, especially when we can choose when we bring them in the world, right? So, we can choose that. And, like for instance, my older sons look at how my baby boy has been raised, and it's just a matter of we are in a better financial position now than we were when you were 18. He got a car at 17. I had to buy my own car. Well, your dad was broke when you turned 17 and was old enough to drive, but I got a little bit of money now, so I can help him get a car. It has nothing to do with the amount of love that I have for either of you. It's just I'm in a better financial situation. And that's a whole nother topic that we can get into because that happens too. Was there favoritism? No, we just, we matured a little bit and we probably should have had all of y'all after this point, but we didn't. And here we are now. So.
Yes, even with the kids, I go through that. With 2, I'm living that.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is the top of the hour, so we don't want to monopolize all of your morning. So we appreciate you hanging out with the St. Louis Hustle Podcast. One last shout out to our sponsors, monetizemylifenow.com. Get your free copy of my best-selling book. All you do is cover shipping and it's yours, monetizemylifenow.com. And then also freefunnelmachine.com. If you are not using sales funnels in your business, you're working too hard, you go to freefunnelmachine.com. You can set up your free account and build a free website /funnel. Comes complete with free autoresponder, everything that you need to run your business online. So with that, we're going to sign off. Until we talk to y'all next time, we want you to get your money up because you absolutely can do it. But more importantly, you deserve to do it, each and every single one of you. Now hustle up.
That's all.